Today we are talking PC gaming handhelds, specifically the new MSI Claw 8 EX AI Plus. Heck of a name, being driven by the G3 Extreme chip by Intel. And I gotta say, it is a powerhouse. Definitely a step up. Mike's most recent experience comes from the Lenovo Legion Go 2 using the AMD Z2 Extreme chip. Been very satisfied with this experience. Wasn't a huge fan of the Windows experience. Got SteamOS installed on this and have loved it ever since. And Valve has been rolling out multiple updates a week to help improve everything on that. Haven't dove into the SteamOS on the MSI Claw yet. I understand they're pretty early with the Intel drivers, so gonna maybe give that some time for Valve to figure things out. But today I want to compare the two as far as gameplay goes. So these specific devices, but that'll be comparing the Intel G3 Extreme to the AMD Z2 Extreme chip. So you can kind of see how far we've come. I would say this is a pretty big step forward. We are going to be going for raw performance today, so we're not going to be using any upscaling, no frame gen, nothing like that. And then we'll play around with some wattages and some different games and things like that, so you could see how much of a bump we're actually getting with these new chips. In future videos, I can mess around with some upscaling and things like that, but I wanted to give us a good baseline, what you can expect from pure rasterization, none of that extra fluff being involved. So overall, I would say the only thing I'm really missing about the Legion Go 2 is the 8.8-inch screen versus the 8-inch screen of the MSI Claw, and the Legion Go 2 screen is OLED, so definitely don't have those colors popping on the MSI like you do on that, so that is something that's being missed. And I did find the detachable controllers on the Legion Go to be convenient in some scenarios, so I do kind of miss having that feature. But I've had the MSI Claw for about a week now, and I had the opportunity to go on a trip, so took it on a plane with me, had it on the go a bunch, really got to experience that part of it, and I could say it was a very good experience. That bump in performance is definitely noticeable, and it is very welcomed. And I will say, ergonomics on this device, it just feels so great in the hands. Could play on it for hours. A great out-of-the-box experience. I think this is probably, out of the box, the best ergonomics I've felt from a handheld so far. It's really hard to recommend this device right now with the price increases. It originally released at $1,350, and I think we're now sitting right at that $2,000 mark. So really hard to recommend this one, especially now that this is a player. Even though this one is coming in at $1,800, you're saving $200 and getting better performance. So hard to recommend this one at this point, but with the ROG Xbox Ally X, that is still sitting at $1,000, so that may be the best as far as higher end performance goes, the best value for your money. But today we'll go over the raw performance just so you could see what you can expect out of this handheld, and we'll go ahead and just start jumping into those numbers and those games and all that good stuff. So I put together this summary for the rest of the video for those of you that just want to see the numbers. So we tested 6 games, each one on both devices. We tested at 10 watts, 20 watts, and 35 watts. Both devices have a native resolution of 1200p, so we stayed there. We used low graphics settings, and then these numbers are all just the average FPS. The trend here really shows how efficient this new G3 Extreme chip is at lower TDPs. At 10 watts, there's a pretty big gap in performance, and as we increase TDP, the gap closes, but at the end of the day, the Intel chip just dominated and won in every single test we did. Monster Hunter Wilds is typically not a very well optimized game on handhelds. The RE engine really can be a CPU hammer, so I like to test this one on handhelds just to see what kind of performance we can get from both here.
Are you ready to go?
Here is a little snippet of our data for Monster Hunter Wilds. So 64% at 10 watts and then 17% increase at 35 watts. Next up is Black Myth Wukong, which is a full stack Unreal Engine 5 game. So it's a good one to test on handheld as well. Final results, we saw an 88% increase at 10 watts and at 35 watts a 20% increase. Cyberpunk 2077, always a good one to test, and we're actually running the Steam Deck preset on this one. It's one of the only games that has that specific preset that is optimized for handhelds. This is the game where we saw the largest gap, 110% difference at 10 watts and a 73% increase at 35 watts. Testing Hogwarts Legacy, it's another good one. Open world game, a bunch of different environments and a lot of NPCs around to really push a couple different metrics here. Final results for this one, at 10 watts, we saw an 83% increase, and at 35 watts, 44%. I didn't want to just test out all the latest and greatest, so coming at you with Shadow of the Tomb Raider, this kind of gives us an older game, but one that's been benchmarked to hell and can give us a good idea of performance on these handhelds.
Disculpe, señorita.
My fault.
Yeah, this is Commander Rourke. Dominguez wants confirmation Croft is here. You have the photo. Female, Caucasian, early 20s. You got that?
Final performance numbers here. At 10 watts, we saw a 40% increase, and at 35 watts, we were right at 28%. And our last game here is going to be Forza Horizon 6. Just racing game style, and it's just a really fun game to play on handheld, so I wanted to see what we could get out of these. All right, final numbers here. At 10 watts, we had a 55% increase, and at 35 watts, we were right at 20%. Well, if you made it this far in the video, I appreciate you watching the whole thing. Let me know down below in the comments, what other games would you like to see, what kind of upscaling, any frame gen, anything like that. I'm going to be doing some more testing on this new MSI handheld, so if you want to see anything, let me know. And we'd really appreciate it if you gave us a like and subscribe to our channel to help support this work we are doing. But thanks again for watching, and we will see you in the next one.